I think the first half was okay. It was quite okay, good games, but I feel a bit disappointed in the end, because we want to see flourish games, right? Fluid games, passing, attacking, scoring chances. But at the end of the day, we see 3 goals by set pieces for a derby. A bit strange. Yeah.
But does it matter if you're Arsenal and you're just trying to win your first title for 22 years?
Yeah, I think so. To be honest, I don't know, but yeah, I think so, because winning today was obviously really, really important for Arsenal. But as a fan, I should, I want to see more.
What do you think, Patrick?
I think on the Arsenal point of view, what really matters is the 3 points. It is really important for them, and of course, when you look at the game a little bit more deeper, scoring 2 goals on the set pieces, and it wasn't really open games. You expected Arsenal to go a little bit more forward. Obviously, Chelsea has a massive and a big part of the game because they were quite well organised defensively. So it was quite difficult for Arsenal to create chances. But, of course, when you are top of the Champions League table, you are top of the league table, you are in a final in the Cup, and you're still in a FA Cup competition. So the expectation is higher, and you expect more from this Arsenal Football Club. And today, yes, on the side of the game, creating, going forward, taking risk, and I am a little bit disappointed, but the matter is, for them, is to win, taking the 3 points, and I think they did it well today. And
disappointed with which bit? With the style of football particularly, or that risk bit?
It's not about the style, because I think the style can be as well the fact that they didn't win the title for so long. So there is maybe a little bit of frustration and stress, because you want to do so well that you are not taking the risk that you are taking in the start of the season. So looking at where they are, and a little bit of nervousness, a little bit of stress, a little bit of pressure can have an impact on their games. But I believe that there is enough experience, there is enough quality, there is enough personality for them to go on the field and to go to win the game. And I think today, set pieces make the difference.
They certainly seem to put their fans through it, Daniel, don't they? They don't do things easily.
Yeah, but I think the key is stopping them. We can talk about the roller coaster in terms of performances and how they go about winning games. I think the entertainment value sometimes isn't there, but football's a game about winning, right? That's what you want to do. Yeah. So I think it's about how do you stop them being great at what they're great at. Clearly, set pieces is an area that they've worked on tirelessly. You got to have the players to be pinpoint deliverers of crosses. Then you need the aggressive players in the box. They've got all the tools for the players who want to have the first contact. All of them are aggressive in the box. And then when you talk about an open play, of course, they've got many ways to win games, but it seems as if set pieces is the one that works the best for them right now.
Yeah.
So use that to your advantage.
Yeah, I think they did well. Since the beginning of the season, they've always been doing well. I don't want to be too much rush, right? And I think Arsenal now, they just had it, right? This season, I think I hope they're going to end up good, but as Man City fans, I think we are there, we're still behind them again. I hope they will soar at some point, but let's see.
Because it's in Arsenal's hands, Yaya, but it's also in Manchester City's hands, because the fact that they play each other and they have this game advantage. We can actually show you the fixtures that both have left. How do you see this then, Yaya, in these closing stages?
Yeah, I think it's incredible how those two titans of the leagues doing this year is incredible. Especially Man City. Man City will win, but
but you're not sure. Do you remember, Patrick, the first one being different, in terms of that pressure and that psychological aspect that Daniel's referring to, that challenge of getting over the line for the first time?
And of course, there's a pressure. The pressure as a team, you want to do well, but there's a outside noise as well that you have to manage, you have to control. And I think when you're looking at Pep talking about Arsenal and saying that Arsenal is the best team at the moment. That is as well putting a pressure on the shoulder of Arsenal Football Club. And that is part of the game as well. But it will be really important, and especially when you get to the end of the season like that, there's a key games that you have to win. And it doesn't matter if you play well or bad. And I think today's games was one of them. But the key moment, I think, will be the game between Manchester City and Arsenal. I think that will be the decided game, because when you're looking at after that game, you expect both teams to win all the games of the season. So for me, the key moment and the important moment will be that game.
Who's playing the best football, Yaya, of the two?
Man City is coming back well. Arsenal were doing well. After that, the struggle, I think they drew against. I watched some games, especially on Emirates as well.
Drew a couple recently.
Yeah,
Brentford,
Wolves. Yes, Wolves as well. That one cost them a bit and give them a bit of doubt, to be honest. Because when I see the players, express themselves, and as well, you have to understand that Odegaard, the captain, is brilliant, right?
You don't know when he's going to be back.
Yeah, I think for me, he's a huge miss, because between the line is moving very well. We can, you know what I mean.
You can see he's a Barcelona.
No, because I love that type of game, that type of approach. You know, when you play games, we need to be, because I feel like the player sometimes I be locked in the brain, right? Just I don't want to make mistakes. Maybe if I lose the ball, can cost the team something. I want the player to be more open. Of course, it's the game. We enjoy the fans part of it.
And the manager will tell you the best game is to get a result. So it's always a balance, I believe, to find between result and the performance. But if you compared Arsenal and Manchester City, I think Manchester City going through a difficult period, but they're always going to keep the philosophy. I think the way that they're going to play, try to build up from the back, that is part of the DNA. And even if they're going through a difficult period, they are staying with kind of philosophy. Arsenal going through a difficult period, they are capable of adapting themselves at how they are feeling at the moment. If they are missing players, they're making a tweet. Some of the tactical aspect of the game. I think that is kind of the differences between the two clubs.
To add on that, I think for me, Man City is playing the better games. For me, they're the best
in
team.
terms of style.
Style of experience in terms of approaching the games. Yesterday, the games they play against Leeds, it's not easy, very difficult. I watched the game carefully and I see that Leeds have that momentum, but Man City just with calmness, with control, with understanding, and they're really good, right? For me, I think that's gonna go into the end. For me, in my opinion, and for me, I remember Man City are playing better games.
You said they're playing better football. You said they hope they win. Are they going to win? Are they going to win the title, Man City?
Yes, I definitely want it.
Okay.
I definitely want it.
You been playing. You say it like it is. Okay.
We better let you go quietly.
Yeah.
And don't repeat that outside this studio. Thank you so much for coming to see us.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure to see you.
Pleasure.
Giant of the game, Yaya Toure, popping in to our studio here.
Gabriel, and of course, like you mentioned, the momentum running at Rees is quite really difficult for him to defend that situation. But after that, I think when he managed to go over Rees, you can see the determination and the competitiveness of the player. So he in the 1v1, he's coming running at Rees, he makes the difference. And from now, he's more determined to win the ball. And then you can see so many players of Arsenal inside the 6-yard box. And of course, Saliba reacted quite really well. And then he was really difficult for the goalkeeper to defend. But Arsenal are quite really strong in these situations.
But it's not just Arsenal that were effective with it today. And it did feel a bit like Chelsea had done a lot of work on this as well in the build-up to this game, didn't it?
Yeah, I think both teams didn't really create so many chances. And they both rely on set pieces. And here, you can see it's... In a slow motion, you can see Rice fighting with... the Chelsea player, but he doesn't look at the ball at all. And of course, so many players in front of the goalkeepers with the deflection from the own Arsenal players, they concede an own goal. But there is nothing in this situation that the keepers can do because there's so many bodies in front of him.
This is becoming a real trend, and we've seen it on every goal scored today, and probably the ones that didn't go in as well, with defenders trying to stop their runners, trying to do anything to block, to maul, to hold, to drag, whatever you can do to be effective, but actually a lot of the time not watching the ball. Is this the way that defending is going now?
But that is a problem for me, because the ball's coming in the box, you have a job, which is to play the ball. It's not to play the man, right? And that's, for me, it's always been about that. It's if you're saying my job is literally to mark this player and not care about where the ball is, I think that's a foul. I'm not. And another place on the pitch, that's a foul. You can't have your back turned to the ball and it not be deemed. You're not even playing the ball. You could argue that if Rice is facing the other way, maybe he could defend the cross. But I think we see a lot of this now where it's because there's a lot of crowding going on and a lot of, grabbing and physical elements to it. It's less necessarily about playing the ball and more about there's just bodies everywhere and it's complete chaos. And how do you deal with the chaos? I think Arsenal are very good at creating chaos and executing off the back of it. But clearly defensively here, they got it wrong.
As they did as well for the winning goal. And yet again, a theme for that was at the back post, Santos and Caicedo actually facing the wrong way entirely, trying to defend this.
I think this is a big issue, and I think we need to find the right answer for helping the referees to make a decision here. When you don't looking at the ball and you just stop the players running, I think that has to be a foul, and I think referees has to be brave enough to give a foul and to give a penalty, because when you don't look at the ball, it became really difficult.
And yet again, we're seeing, 12, 13 players jostling for the ball, jostling for a position, trying to either get some contact on the goalkeeper or not in that instance, to try and get an advantage.
With Santos here, you see, he's trying to get his head around, but the goalkeeper was complaining earlier on about being bumped.